Good morning, and welcome to the Thursday morning check-in for Way of Life. Way of Life is hopefully a wonderful program for you. It certainly provides a lot of tools to help you develop a healthy relationship with food and eating. My name's Michael Schechter. I'm one of the founders of Be Well Solutions, and again, I'm very proud of the Way of Life program, and again, invite you to reach out to us if there's anything we can do to help this journey become easier for you. So the Way of Life program, has been worked on for hundreds of hours by our registered dietitians and other health professionals. And it really boils down to 5 goals that we're going to hopefully help you develop and 5 habits over the next 12 weeks. But your Way of Life goals are pretty simple, but not easy sometimes. Eat at least 5 1-cup servings of vegetables and fruit every day. Keep your portion sizes manageable and appropriate. Develop a habit of moving every day. And at least 150 minutes of exercise a week, but if not, whenever possible, more is better. The exercise strategies also include 2 days of muscle strengthening exercise that helps increase your metabolism. We'll talk about that as time goes on. We want you to be accountable, monitor your progress a little bit, weighing yourself once a week, certainly not daily, and complete each week's weekly challenge to help you develop habits in the interest of health. So every week you'll receive some materials, and when you log in to the website, you'll see that you'll have access to handouts every week and videos most weeks, and these materials will help you develop new habits that will lead to more responsible eating and health in general. So we're very proud of the materials that you get. Every week you'll have a challenge, and this challenge this week is to eat at least 1 fruit or vegetable with every meal. It's a great habit to develop. In addition, we have activities, and part of the week 1 activities is to develop an understanding of what you want to accomplish, what your long-term goals would be, and why you're doing it. We all have different reasons to try to improve our health, but we're going to ask you to focus on that why. What you're doing this for, because these are things that we have to keep in mind at times when our journey becomes a little bit more difficult. The Way of Life program stresses 3 pillars of weight loss, including self-monitoring. So accountability is important. So please use the tracker, use the app to help you track. Balanced eating is important as well, and also physical activity. So those are the 3 pillars. And one of the things I want to point out today is we also have to learn to forgive ourselves. So, not every day in the next 12 weeks is going to go great for you. But the idea here is forgive yourself. So in addition to balancing accountability, we want to balance it with forgiveness. So please remember that everybody has bad days, and the goal of Way of Life is to introduce new habits to you, but also teach you to have a healthy relationship, emotional relationship with food and exercise. Now, one of the things that I like to point out to people at the beginning are strategies for success, and I think it's important to understand something we call the cognitive triangle. So the cognitive triad includes feelings. So we may have a feeling, we may feel sort of depressed one day, and that may lead to thoughts like, I'm hopeless, I'm not feeling good, I don't really care, and that leads to a behavior, maybe going to Taco Bell and eating my feelings a little bit. And then following that behavior, sometimes I'll feel even more sad. So this whole idea of feelings influencing thoughts, thoughts influencing behaviors, and behaviors then again influencing feelings is important to understand as you analyze the ups and downs of trying to develop new habits. So please understand that at times we can fall into this cycle, but it's possible to recognize these negative thoughts, these negative tapes, and negative feelings, and reframe them and recognize them and change the behaviors and confront the bad thoughts. And it's hard to control your feelings, but if you can control a little bit, work on your thoughts, work on healthy behaviors, then your feelings also start to improve. So understand that cognitive triad and work on interrupting any issues that you may see in this repetitive cycle. Again, if you have questions about that, or you feel like talking to a health coach or registered dietitian about these things, that's part of the Way of Life program. We're here to offer you support. So in the short run this morning, when we talk about tips for success over the next 12 weeks, please work on staying positive. I'm going to remind you that over and over. Stay positive, catch your negative thoughts, understand how your behaviors can influence your feelings and thoughts, and work on your behaviors in a positive respect whenever you can. Also forgiving yourself for slip-ups. Remember your why. Why are you doing this? Why are you trying to change the way you eat, your relationship with food, and maybe your health status? What is driving that? And keep that in mind. Finding a buddy or friend to support your success is very helpful. Also trying to stay away from people who might sabotage your success. Track your progress. Use the programs to make sure that you're trying to hit goals most days. And please use the program resources. If you're stuck, reach out to a health coach or registered dietitian for support. We're here to help you along the way, because the beauty of being a human being is that you're capable of change. So after this brief introduction, I'm going to spend a couple minutes talking about quickly the science and strategies behind Way of Life and other diet programs that may be of interest to you, supplemental materials that might help you. Although, again, I believe that the Way of Life program is self-contained and has everything you need. But when we look at popular diets these days, there are several out there. U.S. News and World Report has a panel of expert health professionals, including physicians and registered dietitians, who evaluate diets, and they rate the best diets for people in terms of health, weight loss, and things like that. And you can check this out at U.S. News and World Report. It's totally free, but here's their top diets. They listed 24 different diets. But I wanted to take a look at the top 5 and just introduce you to the logic behind those real quick. You've probably heard of many of these: Mediterranean diet, DASH diet, flexitarian diet, MIND diet. But again, just quickly, the Mediterranean diet is felt to be the top diet by the U.S. News and World Report experts. It's a diet that is represented by this pyramid here, but again, it's based on fruits, vegetables, whole grains, limiting the amounts, as you can see at the top, of meats and sweets, limiting alcohol. And we're going to talk about alcohol over the weeks and how that should fit into your lifestyle and your calorie budget. But for the time being, understand that the Mediterranean diet, while they don't endorse alcohol, they don't forbid it either. So the Mediterranean diet, again, a balanced diet, lots of whole grains, lots of fruits and vegetables, few meats and sweets. And that's the sort of common link you're going to see through all of these top 5 diets. The next 2 is a Thai DASH diet. DASH stands for Dietary Approaches to Stop Hypertension. This is a wonderful eating plan. You have a great booklet available for free through the National Institutes of Health. And the DASH diet is a pattern that was originally pattern of eating that was originally designed to help people fight high blood pressure, but it's turned out to be a very healthy diet. Again, stressing, low salt intake, low saturated fats, avoidance of sugar sweetened beverages, butter, processed grains, which is white bread, white rice, white pasta, and processed meats. And the DASH diet, again, there's a wonderful book available. They've got a lot of recipes. They've got eating plans if you need any supplemental materials. The flexitarian diet, flexitarian comes from the word being flexible and vegetarian mostly. So again, a diet that endorses mostly vegetarian choices. The flexitarian diet encourages, as I said, plant-based eating. They follow what they call a 3-4-5 calorie regimen. So flexitarian diet, the 3-4-5 calorie regimen really stands for 300 calorie breakfast, 400 calorie lunch, 500 calorie dinner, and then in there's 2 150 calorie snacks. So that's a total of 1,500 calories a day that the flexitarian diet endorses. Now, we're going to talk about calories as we move on, but as a general rule, and we'll review this at the end real quick, but we don't want you to limit your calories severely. So we want you to be at least, I'd like to say 1,500 calories. Some people will say at least 1,200 calories for women, but don't cut calories too much. We want you to develop a relationship with food where you feel nourished and you feel full and you feel satisfied. The next diet that's interesting, at least to me, is the MIND diet. This is a combination of the Mediterranean and DASH diets. And it stands for Mediterranean DASH Intervention for Neurodegenerative Delay. And that's just a fancy way of saying that it postponed dementia a little bit, this MIND diet. And again, we see the pattern, lots of whole grains, lots of vegetables, leafy vegetables, nuts, limiting, and butter, stick margarine, pastry, sweets, processed meats, and cheese. Again, there's a lot of information out there for the MIND diet. And if you want more information on it, you can find it or you can call us. The last diet I want to just mention is called the TLC diet. TLC is another diet where there's a number of free resources out there. TLC stands for Therapeutic Lifestyle Changes. It was a diet originally designed to help people control bad cholesterol, LDL cholesterol. This diet encourages even less fat intake than the other ones, but in general follows the pattern of lots of fruits and vegetables, lots of whole grains, limiting sweets, and saturated fats. So these are other resources you can have, as well as the professionals at Be Well Solutions as you embark on this 12-week journey to help you improve your health. Let's wrap it up today by just giving you some summary points. So every diet that we've looked at, recommended diet, stresses eating plant-based and whole grain products over animal-based and refined grains. Now, I want to mention for a second, there are other diets that I didn't talk about that are popular, but I want to mention the Atkins diet and also the diets that are significantly carbohydrate restricting. Those diets were not recommended. As a matter of fact, the Atkins diet came in 21st out of the 24 diets, and Slim Fast was down at the bottom. So these sort of short-term weight programs that don't encourage balanced whole food didn't get good marks from the health professionals. So I think that's something to remember. Whole food in its natural form generally constitutes recommended diets. Calories are generally counted in some way. We're going to talk next week about developing a calorie budget for yourself and a way to really understand the amount of calories you individually need to target. But We never endorse anything less than 1,200 calories a day for men and 1,500 calories a day for women. Most of these diets endorse higher volume, lower calorie food. We sometimes call that nutrient density. So nutrient dense foods, lots of nutrients, lots of bulk, lots of fiber, not a lot of fat and calories. It's important over the next weeks, though, to understand that food plays an important part in our lives, and we all have cravings, and we have to understand ways that we can continue to satisfy these cravings. So begin to understand what turns you on about food, in addition to maybe the sweetness. So things like texture and temperature. So if you like creamy things, we can talk about ways to substitute out cream and substitute in maybe pureed vegetables to get that sort of creamy, nice feel. Hot foods, a lot of people like, foods nice and hot, and that can satisfy elements of cravings as well as taste. We have to figure out ways maybe to satisfy those taste cravings in potentially lower calorie or more healthy, or at least more portion controlled ways. All of the diets that we look at encourage nearly daily exercise. Many recommend stress management and developing sort of what we call mindful eating patterns. We'll talk about that as the weeks go on. I think I've given you enough today to get started. I want to wish you luck, and I want to wish you a successful weekend as you work on your challenge of eating one fruit and vegetable at every meal, working on getting that 150 minutes of exercise, learning how, and we're going to talk about this next week, learning some simple exercise strategies so you can begin a simple resistance training program. These are things that if you want to get started on early and you need some help, you can reach out to Be Well Solutions for. So share your victories with us. Let us know how you're doing. Give us some feedback so we can make this program as beneficial as possible. Next week, we're going to talk about developing a calorie budget for yourself, one that's more individualized. And again, I wish you luck, and I invite you to reach out to us if there's anything we can do to help you in any way. Have a great week, and we will see you next week.